Hey everyone, it's Andrew. Welcome back to my channel. Today we're going to be doing a video doing an unboxing and setup of the Ergotron upgraded LX Pro Premium monitor arm. This is going to be a monitor arm for a VESA mounted computer monitor. It supports up to 34 inches in 4 to 22 pounds. As far as the VESA mount, it can be either 75 by 75 millimeters or 100 by 100. This is their tall pole arm in white. You can get this online on Amazon for $276. I recently purchased this for my LG Ultrawide 38-inch monitor for my new desk setup. And so what we'll do in this video is unbox it and review it. I will apologize for the focus. My lens for my camera actually broke, and so that's why it's blurry, but we'll review this anyways. Okay, so here's everything that comes in the packaging. So you've got the arm that attaches to the base of the table. It's got clamps to tighten it all the way up, okay? And additionally, you can change the height here depending on the thickness of your table. Says Ergotron on the top here. It's basically a solid white mount. It's metallic. Everything's metal here, so it's very, very sturdy from that standpoint. Next up is this monitor arm. So this is more of like an aluminum. It's lighter weight, but basically it's got a metal attachment there and then an opening on the one side. Next up is a sturdier monitor arm. So this is, I believe, jointed. So it's jointed there, jointed here. And this is actually a solid metal. So this probably attaches onto that directly. And then this arm goes onto here. And then lastly is the VESA mount. So this is a VESA mount where it can screw into the back of the monitor, and then the arm will go into there. And then they have a set of hardware from that, as well as instructions. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to read over the instructions, walk through setting this up, then we'll install it on the actual desk. Okay, so for step one, it's basically just saying install the monitor arm onto the desk, and it does show you the width. So it's got less than or 10 millimeter width, 12 to 35 is the middle setting, and then 37 to 60 is the lowest setting. So that determines which one you need to level it at. So you'll measure your desk and do it that way. And then once you have it on, you'll tighten the bottom. So I'll measure my desk and I'll walk through this one. Okay, so I measured the thickness of the Flexispot, and it measures out to 0.75 inches, which is equivalent of about 19 millimeters. So we currently have it set at this middle setting, which is what you want. So now what we'll do is I basically mark kind of where I think I would want this. I might have to adjust it, but I'm just basically gonna slide it directly onto the desk and then tighten it all the way until it's flush. And it's super easy to do, and it actually has like a spring mechanism. So it actually like clamps down very, very well. But yeah, I tighten it all the way pretty much as I can do by hand. And as you can see, it's super sturdy there, so that's what it looks like. Okay, and then the next step is actually taking the lighter one that's made of metal, that's not too heavy and doesn't have the joints, and you're just basically gonna slide that directly onto this, all right? And that will rotate freely around here, okay? And that's all you have to do for that step. Okay, so the next step is taking the other arm, which has the joints and is heavier. You're gonna take the part with the round part and just slide it directly onto here, okay? And then that can actually move up and down depending on what you need. And then I believe this part is customizable too, but you have to loosen it. The other thing that the instructions say is that if you're interested, or kind of depending on the layout, you can also just put this piece directly on here. The cap will pop off, but that allows you like rotation in an area closer depending on your desk size. But for me personally, because of the size of the desk, I want to maximize the length of the arm and how far the monitor can reach. So we're going to do it with this setup, but that's what it looks like at that point. Okay, so the next step is actually going to be setting up the VESA mount on your monitor. So it depends on each monitor, but usually it's a standard size. This monitor just clicks off with a button, which is really nice. Then As far as the mount itself, this is what it looks like. So it's got 4 holes on the outside and 4 on the inside. And then this arm should be able to rotate. It might not be able to do that now. But currently, you might not be able to see, but there's screws in place for the VESA mount. So I have to unscrew those first. So that's all you have to do. Then as far as mounting it, you just slide it directly into place, get the holes lined up, and then you just reinsert those screws directly in here. All right, and then it does say that there's, if you do not want rotation in this plane, like upwards, downwards, you could put a screw here and that'll secure it as well. But that's all you have to do as far as mounting it on to the computer monitor. Okay, so next up, you're gonna put the monitor onto the stand. So what you wanna do is just put this on and then keep it facing upright, all right? If you just put it on like this, you may not be able to see it, but it's not all the way down. In order to get it all the way down, you actually have to rotate the monitor all the way 100 degrees. And then there's a slot that allows it to click into place so that it secures it. And so when you rotate back, it's all the way flush there and you don't have to worry about it falling. Now you can rotate it downwards and then you can manipulate this however you need, okay? The planes of the computer monitor arm allow you to rotate all the way 180 degrees all the way to the wall, okay, on this lower bar, all right? And then this one allows you to raise up or down, okay? And then this plane allows you to rotate up or down, and you can cancel that out if you put the screw in the back of the VESA mount. But it seems pretty sturdy there. It seems sturdy there, and it seems sturdy here. One thing that I did want to mention is that it does provide an Allen wrench here, okay? And so when you do that, you can basically secure all these connections so that they don't rotate. And so if you have this in a specific direction or a way you want it, you can just tighten it up, and it ensures that it limits the motion in that plane. And so if I do that, it secures it down, or actually I think this just secures the mount to the bar and such. So I'm just doing that to make sure everything's tight. Yeah, and so everything's sturdy there. But it's very customizable. I'll say that the arm here is a little bit top heavy, so if I push it all the way to the top, it does automatically slide, so I will have to mess with that. And then the key feature I did want to highlight for this is that when I first put this on, if you noticed earlier in the video, when I put the monitor free as it was, gravity would pull it down because there wasn't enough resistance in the arm. In order to increase the resistance, you basically, there's a hole here on the end of the monitor arm, and what you do is use the larger Allen key, get it straight in line with the bar below, and it'll click into a place there, and then all you have to do is turn it clockwise to increase the resistance. And by increasing the resistance, it no longer goes down on its own, so it's freestanding. And so with the 38-inch monitor, it fully supports the weight with that, with increasing the resistance. But if you notice that it's falling in the beginning, that's the reason why, so you have to do that customization. As far as height and angle, for me personally, I probably won't adjust it. What I'll most likely do is just use the standing feature on the desk, raise and adjust it that way. And so otherwise, when I'm working, I'll just rotate it this way or up or down or angle it like whatever I need for whatever work purpose I'm doing. But I am super excited about this monitor. It's way better than having this massive thing sticking out and pointing at you. So now I basically have all this desk space underneath, and I can put things there to declutter the desk. But now what I'll do is I'll just set up everything for my desk and show you the end product of this.